Okay, Stu, I have a feeling I might get called a wuss after I say what I'm going to say.
Okay.
But I think there's an issue that AEW needs to address. So at the scrum, I asked Tony about what he's doing to market to kids and college students and that age group. Because here's where one thing I noticed when I was at Double or Nothing. I'm looking around the crowd.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of kids there. And you're seeing things happening on TV and at the matches. A lot of blood, a lot of graphic things going on. And look, I'm a guy from the old school. Give me Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard I Quit match all day long. I don't mind color in matches when it's used properly.
Mhm.
But for example, the lead up to the Roderick Strong Will Ospreay match. Will Ospreay gets busted up, and he did a good promo. I mean, don't get me wrong, when he was, had his face all bloody and everything. But you got Jack Perry getting set on fire, which, they set it up nicely. It was a cool spot, but 5 minutes into you're having a barbed wire steel cage match, and 5 minutes into that, Malachi Black and Adam Copeland are just busted up and bleeding all over the place. You've got Darby Allin bleeding up, and he's hanging from a ceiling, getting hit with a thumbtacks on the bottoms of shoes from the Young Bucks. Okay. Does AEW have a problem in that parents may be getting turned off to the product because of the past few years? More and more, we've seen a lot of color and more graphic things happening on TV in their pay-per-views. And so the kids aren't showing up, and parents aren't willing to bring their kids. And, maybe that's turning women off to the product too. Is that a concern that Tony Khan should have? And maybe they need to back off this a little bit.
That's actually a very thoughtful question, and it's hard to answer because look, we're in the media business, we're in the radio business. We know that the demographic that everybody targets 18 to 49. That's the one. They're the ones that have the spending money. They're the ones that are going to have the disposable income. They're the ones that are going to pay for a pay-per-view or buy a ticket or something like that. Should AEW try to market to kids? It's it
Yeah.
probably should be something. WWE does it. They do a fantastic job. And look, they have their style. It's worked for them. Um, I I I really think that Tony Khan's mindset is young adults and up. I'm not sure he's too worried about whether kids show up and but you're right. By default, that means the parents don't show up either, the ones that have the spending money, the disposable income. So that's it's an interesting line to carry in that, yeah, AEW is trying to be the alternative to WWE, and I get that. And look, there have been some instances where it's like, that's a lot of blood, or like you said, setting Jack Perry on fire. Um, I don't know how to answer that. I'll be honest, because
See, it's tricky, isn't it?
it is
It's
tricky.
tricky.
Yeah.
So here, let me give you an example for me. Is I took my I remember when my daughter was a little bit younger, I took her here to the Money in the Bank, when Dean Ambrose, John Moxley won the WWE championship.
Hmm.
And I'm walking by the merchandise stand, and lo and behold, we're going by, and of course, dimwit me, I have her on the side by the stand, and she sees the New Day unicorn, You know, that little light up unicorn they used to have?
Oh yeah.
Daddy,
Uh-huh.
daddy. Well, that's money, right?
Yeah.
Think of all the money that John Cena generates. And if you think of, you know, if you want to bring your kids to that event, you know, those are ticket sales.
Yeah.
Those are ticket sales. You're not going to, man, and that's tough bringing your 10-year-old when you see, for example, that picture of when they kind of crucified Adam Copeland
Mm-hmm.
in that cage match. Now you kind of know what you're getting, but at the same time, man, you're sitting there with your kids. Man, mom's going to be sitting there like, "Oh my god." I mean, I was sitting with actually one of our other personalities here at Odyssey, and she's like, "I can't look."
Mm-hmm.
And she's a wrestling. She's been around wrestling for a while.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very tricky position. And but when you're saying I'm the challenger brand to WWE, but that's the product you're presenting, you're not, to me, you're not really the challenger brand. You're a different brand. So, you know, it's an interesting line to me. And I just wanted to bounce that off you, Stu, and get an opinion, because you've been in the industry a long time doing commentary and so on. So I wanted to get I was curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. I think I'll be honest. I think Tony Khan's comfortable with just, you know, playing to adults, playing to 18 and over. I don't think he's too worried about, you know, family type, you know, stuff. And I think he's just going to stick with that, at least for now.
Fair enough. So there you go. I hear it from the expert, Stew Myrick. I'll give it to you. But I don't know. I just wonder if he's leaving some money on the table. That's all. So
Yeah.
Interesting thoughts from Stu, to say the least there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.